Hi, my name is Miss Victoria, and I would like to share a Bible story with you about a man named Zaccheus. Okay? Once there was a rich man named Zaccheus. Zaccheus had a big, fine house and nice, fine clothes and enough money to buy anything that he wanted. But what he didn't have was friends. His neighbors, they didn't really like him that much. They would have parties, their house, but they wouldn't invite him. And even though Zaccheus had much better food than they could afford, they didn't come to his house for dinner when he invited them either. Well, everybody knows that Zaccheus cheats. This is what his neighbors were saying. He always takes more than his share. He's just a bad neighbor. So Zaccheus stayed all alone in his big, fine house. One day, Jesus was coming to the town where Zaccheus lived. Now, Zaccheus had heard a lot of good things about Jesus, how he made sick people feel well again and sad people to feel happy again. So he thought to himself, maybe he can help people who are lonesome too. So Zaccheus ran out to see Jesus, but there was a problem with that. Look at all of those people. There were so many people already there that Zaccheus had nowhere to squeeze in. He was a short man, kind of like me, and he couldn't see over the crowd, couldn't see anything. No one even said, "Here, Zaccheus, you can stand in my place to move over and let him in." He couldn't see anything, but he did look up and noticed there was this big tree next to the road. So Zaccheus decided he was going to climb up that tree, and there he was, sitting in the tree, waiting for Jesus to come by. Now, when Jesus did come by, he looked up and he saw Zaccheus. Well, all the people saw him too, and they laughed and made fun of him. Look at crazy Zaccheus up in the tree. What's he doing, crazy old man?
Crazy old man.
But that's not what Jesus saw. Jesus saw the face of a very lonesome man. And he said, "Zaccheus, come down out of that tree. I'd like to go home with you today." Wow. Well, Zaccheus could barely believe what he had heard. Somebody wanted to be a friend. Someone actually wanted to come to his home. Well, he couldn't get down out of that tree fast enough. He got down out of that tree and stood next to Jesus, and he felt really happy, happier than he felt in a very long time. And they walked together, Jesus and Zaccheus, down the road to Zaccheus' house. Now, the other town people, his neighbors, they didn't like that at all. What? Why is Jesus going over to Zaccheus' house? Doesn't he know that nobody likes him? Doesn't he know that he's a cheat? Doesn't he know that he's a bad neighbor? Ugh! But Zaccheus was pleased to be walking with Jesus. However, Zaccheus knew that he hadn't been the best person that he should be. So when walking with Jesus, he felt bad and ashamed about the way he had been. And he said, I'm sorry, I haven't helped people in my town who are hungry and cold. And I'm sorry, I have taken more than my fair share. Well, Jesus looked at him, quiet, and was listening. Now, Zaccheus knew that he needed to do more than just say, "I'm sorry." I will give half of all of my money to help out the people who are hungry and cold. Jesus continued to look at him quietly. Zaccheus knew he needed to do a little bit more. "I will pay back all that I have taken unfairly. And I will give back 4 times as much as I have taken. Well, Jesus looked at Zaccheus in a very loving way, the way, friends look at each other, and he knew that Zaccheus was really sorry. And he told him, from this day on, Zaccheus, you will love people, you will help people, you will be kind, and you will not cheat. And you will no longer be lonely, because people will know that you are a good person, a good man, and a good neighbor. So, you know what? Everything Jesus said came true. Zaccheus was a good person and a good neighbor, and he had lots of friends. So please remember to always be kind to each other. Have a good night.